Hello everybody, welcome back to another Death Battle reaction video. If you couldn't tell, because the video is a bit late, I apologize, but work always takes a priority. But today we're taking a look at Spider-Man from Marvel Comics versus Deku from My Hero Academia. We're specifically looking at Miles Morales Spider-Man this time around, with his last appearance being all the way back in Season 7. As for Deku, his last appearance was in Season 9. And I know these two more so based off that, and this is also an episode that Z-Dog himself has said has been his most wanted for a long time, and it's finally happening, and it's finally being animated by Moro in what I believe Moro said on his social media account of a stylized 3D animation. So I'm looking forward to see what exactly this episode has in store. I also am looking forward to seeing what Miles has gotten since his last episode against Static Shock, because from what I've been told on the server, it's quite a bit. With that being said, I don't think I have anything else for you to address. Like, these two have been on the show before, and while I'm not too big onto either My Hero or Miles' comics, it's still cool that it's happening. As for who I think is going to win, over on Last Discussed Death Battle, I picked Deku. I think Deku's stats are more impressive than anything Miles has. I know Mate's going to say it depends on how they scale Miles to Peter, but I don't really think it's as big as a factor as it implies, because yeah, you can scale Miles to Peter quite a lot, but I think it's more fair to take a look at what Miles has done on his own before we just assume he should scale to Peter's. Like, I think if Miles himself has higher stats than what they scale to Peter, I think scaling to Peter really shouldn't matter either way. But with that being said, let's get into the episode. This one looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun, man.
Miles Morales versus Izuku Midoriya. Spider-Man versus Deku. He's
Hooray!
Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills.
This is gonna be a fun one from the animation. Let's get into Miles, baby!
Alright, let's take this from the top again. This is Peter Parker.
Hello, Peter.
By a radioactive spider, and for who knows
When is Peter actually going to come back on the show? That's the real question we should ask ourselves.
neighbor to all of New York City. In a universe filled with super soldiers, hulking green Goliaths, and world-shattering gods,
Quite
Spider-Man
literally.
is there to look out for the little guy. But in a multiverse of infinite possibilities, that doesn't always last forever. Like
Yeah.
1610.
Multiverse with Marvel is insane.
Got iced on the job. The city was left without its protector. But fortunately, Peter wasn't the only one who got bit. Enter Miles Morales, a young teen from Brooklyn.
I've seen the second Spider-Verse movie. It's really good.
And now,
I still have to really watch the first one.
canon event to start all canon events.
Canon events.
Now it was Miles' turn to be
Likes
the hero
Naruto,
the
DBC,
Big Apple
JoJo's, and
needed,
Gwen.
and he had
Dislikes
all the
canon
usual
events,
Spider
GameSpot, and
kids to
Paul.
help him out. This
Is the GameSpot thing a reference to how they reviewed this game?
a genetics-enhancing serum that granted Miles superhuman strength, speed, and the ability to alter his body's electron attraction to crawl along any surface. And you can't forget that classic spider sense, an
Yeah.
internal warning system that lets Miles know about incoming threats so he can react ahead of time.
I think it was the first Super Raider I heard of.
Letting him see through stuff. But no
See-through
Spider-Person is
stuff.
complete without their web shooters. Given to him by Peter's
Wakandan web shooters, eventually, and the nanomesh vibranium suit. Okay.
restraining, projectiling,
Overdrive.
and made
Is
into
overdrive like a
Not having Peter around to
like a
show
switch to make him
Miles
go
made things
faster
a
or
lot
whatnot?
tougher, though. And between mishaps with wall crawling and web slinging, Miles got off to a rocky start. Like any typical teenager,
As
he
most new
had a
heroes
lot of
do.
self-doubt. Could he keep up in school? What was the right way to talk to girls? And how
The
could
answer
he
is
live up to being
be yourself, I
Spider-Man
guess.
When one of the villains he had to face turned out to be his very own uncle. Makes family dinner so awkward.
You think?
Trying to kill you stuff. Fortunately, Miles had a leg up on every other superhero known to man. Living parents.
That is very fair.
Parents.
That's
They
very fair.
supported him when things got tough, even if they didn't always see eye to eye. And thanks to them, he learned that the best way to be Spider-Man wasn't to do it like Peter, but to do it his own way. And it
True.
helped that this particular spider had a bit more to its bite than Peter's. Miles has a variety of unique powers, like invisibility and venom. Not like Tom Hardy, though it is weird to give your main power the same
It kind of is. Has Miles ever had a Venom symbiote in the
Miles
comics?
can harness his own bioelectric energy and weaponize it. which is especially effective against individuals with genetic mutations.
Yeah.
Punching, absorbing, blasting, mega blasting. Hell, he can even make electric constructs out of this stuff. Like
Shit, man.
Sword. Jeez,
Oh yeah, I heard about the
spider
sword from
was
Squiff.
this?
It's not entirely science fiction. Studies
What?
have shown that certain species of spiders, such as the Linophiidae, have a process known as ballooning. By spinning a thread of
Ballooning?
silk, they can use the Earth's natural electric fields to fly.
Why does that sound like something that exists only in Australia?
No pun intended.
Well, whatever kind of bite it was, it gave Miles the edge he needed to find his worth as Spider-Man.
Miles can dodge gunshots, missiles, and lightning bolts. He survived all
Impressive.
sorts of beatings, including a building exploding on top of him.
Oh, geez,
Ouch.
Spidey could lift buildings and dodge light speed attacks, and Miles
Okay.
is more than a match for him.
Like the time he absorbed the energy of a bomb that was going to vaporize Harlem. A blast that
I'm
would have
sorry,
equaled
what?
15 million tons of TNT.
He's gotten kudos from a ton of older heroes too, becoming a member of the New Ultimates and the Avengers.
That's
He
pretty
even helped
cool.
form the Champions, a
The
team
who?
of teenage superheroes with the likes of
Oh,
Miss
so like a
Marvel
Teen
and
Titans
Ironheart.
group.
The king of Wakanda himself even suited him up with some Wakandan vibranium.
The same stuff as T'Challa's own suit. This
That's
super
pretty
rare and tough
cool.
metal can absorb kinetic energy and vibrational impacts.
It helps to regulate Miles's venom powers too, allowing
Huh.
him to better control his electrical output.
The vibranium is thinner to
Gotta hand it to
his
Wakanda
acrobatic
for really
fighting
cool
style,
suits.
But it can still shake off most fatal attacks like they're nothing. This stuff is tough enough that Deadpool's swords have shattered against it.
Though it's
Ouch.
not as durable as, say, Captain America's shield, and enough kinetic energy will overload it.
Don't
Yeah.
hear it when it does, or you'll end up like the Falcon here when he used his vibranium wings to stop a bomb that was gonna blow up New York City. That's
Oof.
twice now. Does any other city have to deal with this stuff?
But when vibranium
Probably
and
Japan,
spider powers
or like
still aren't
Tokyo.
enough, Miles can push his electrical output into overdrive.
Giving him huge boosts in strength and speed, and making him a whole lot zappier. It's
Ouch.
a classic shonen power-up, and he knows it too. He's a bit of a weeb and has a thing for mimicking some favorites.
Despite his
It's like,
initial insecurities,
Kyle
Miles
Rayner
has
with
more
Gurren
than
Lagann.
managed to live up to his predecessor, no longer standing in the shadow, but side by side.
Literally, his universe got blown up, and he was sent to the main 616 timeline, along with his family. And now it's
That's
him and
nice.
Peter as a pair of Spider Bros.
He's even become one of the big
Pretty damn
players of
cool.
the Spider
What an
Verse,
Oscar.
teaming up with all sorts of other spider variants to defend the multiverse.
There's anime spider people, robot spider people, dinosaur spider people, spider people, a whole lot of them. Each
Yeah,
with their own
there's a
way of
lot.
getting the job done. Miles even led them into battle against the Inheritors, a bunch of interdimensional vampire assholes.
This is what Stan Lee was proudest of in his favorite superhero. Regardless of who they were, any sort of person could wear the mask and do the right thing. For so long
Wise
as we
words
stay
from
true to
Stan.
ourselves and help others in our own unique ways, then anyone can be a hero.
Nice.
But what is a hero? To the citizens of Japan, there was no one more synonymous with the word than their symbol of peace, All Might.
The big numero uno. With a smile on his face, he could save anyone and win any fight, no
Indeed.
matter what.
Or so it seemed. After a battle with his arch nemesis All for One, All Might was grievously injured. His time as a
Jesus,
beacon of hope was coming to an end.
I was about to
and
say,
he would
like,
need
I
to
remember
find
some of this
someone
from All Might
to
Might
pass on
Guy.
the torch.
Not
In this
everything.
world, most human beings evolved to have their own individual superpowers, or quirks, but not everyone
Basically,
is lucky enough
X-Men
to
the
get
anime.
one,
I know I
like
say this a lot,
kid
but it's
named
true.
Izuku Midoriya, or as local bully Bakugo like to call him, the good-for-nothing Deku.
Izuku wanted to save
I think
people
Deku,
just
if
like
I
All
recall,
Might.
has a double meaning, doesn't
Even
it?
his idol told him that
24
he would have
past
to
post
give up
timestamp,
on his
okay.
dreams.
Forever the beta male.
Romantic
shadow
interest.
of
Oh, you know,
Bakugo in his
one of
single
them.
quirk, until he got the chance to alpha up and lend his rival a helping hand, proving himself worthy of All Might's torch.
And so after months of
Yeah.
training, Izuku was granted All Might's quirk, One for All. This power allows him to boost his strength to incredible heights, using it for smashing attacks named after specific US locales and a soccer club.
Or
Because why not?
football, as they call it.
Straight punches, spikes, even finger flicks, One for All is the ultimate in strength enhancing quirks.
The first
Yeah.
time he used it, Izuku destroyed this giant robot in a single blow on accident. Too bad
How do you
it
do that
wasn't
on
the
accident?
only thing he destroyed, though. Damn, that looks like it hurts.
One for All's power was so great that the recoil would shatter Izuku's limbs when he used it. In the hands of an improper vessel, One for All
It-
could cause
yeah,
their body
it-
to
it's very
explode.
costly.
So Izuku would need to continuously train to master it at his hero academia.
Say that again.
Ha.
UAI.
Here he'd be inspired by girly pop Uraraka to turn his zero name into his hero name, becoming the Deku who always does his best.
Something
Nice.
he may have taken
Well, I
too
say nice
far.
with the
And
editing
the
for the
same
manga
people
panels. Like
do
they
your
do
best
phenomenal
here
with
had
this.
a bad habit of putting others way before himself. Sure, everyone else was okay, but he'd be good for nothing all over again if he got himself paralyzed.
So
Yeah.
to cut down on his hospital bill, he developed full cowling. Instead of using his quirk in short bursts, he would
So-
continuously spread the energy across his body at low percentages. using
Yeah.
it for
Best way to
acrobatics
describe it is
inspired
kinda like
by
the
Bakugo's
8 gates
explosive movements.
of
And
sorts.
with that new thinking came a new fighting style, shoot style. To use a stronger limb that'd be less likely to break, Deku took a page from Nerd Emoji Ida's book and switched to
Okay,
focusing
dude.
on kicks to pack in more of a punch. Yeah.
And that power would be needed. After a climactic battle with All for One, All Might would be forced into retirement, just a few months into Deku's training. Now it was
yeah.
his turn to face
Ouch.
this demon lord.
But he didn't have to do it alone. Just as All Might had passed One for All onto Deku, it had been passed onto All Might by his master, and onto her by
Just
her
from the
master.
name, though, I
One
think
for All
I remember
was a
when
power
these
that was
when the
built
surprise
upon
for this came out,
generations.
a lot of people were
Quirks
pissed
from
at
the
it, but the
previous
naming,
users of
like
One for
looking
All
back on it,
invested
makes a lot of
in Deku,
sense with how it
along with
works.
their spirits or vestiges to help him in his battle against All for One.
Black Whip
Yeah.
gives him energy tendrils to swing around and restrain foes. They can also brace his arms and manually control his muscles if he can't move.
Float allows him to soar high
I guess
into the sky.
wasn't Zeta made by
Controlled blasts of pressurized
what was her
air,
name?
he
The
can
engineer
effectively
girl? I forget her
fly.
name.
Danger
Hatsume?
sense detects incoming threats and unease, letting Deku react
It's anime
in advance,
spider sense,
though
basically.
It's mostly like an alarm bell and doesn't tell him specifics like location or number of threats. Familiar?
True.
Smokescreen lets him create a smoke screen, but he can use it at full blast to create a bigger smoke screen.
That's swell and all, but the real meat is in Fajin. After building up kinetic energy within his body, Deku can unleash it for bursts of strength and speed.
He's combined it with Black Whip to create the powerful Black Chain binding attack. and can use it in
Okay,
conjunction
that's
with
pretty
full
cool.
Cowling to achieve foe 100%, equaling All Might's full level of power without any recoil.
He once
Damn.
used it to outspeed a bullet shot by Lady Nagant, a former hero turned villain who has a sniper rifle for an arm. I think I'm in love.
Nagant's
Boom,
bullet
six,
once
stop.
crossed a distance of around 215 kilometers within a fraction of a second. That's 6,700 times faster than sound. And Deku was
Okay.
moving so fast, the bullet seemed like it was standing still.
And he can go even faster than that with his final quirk, Gear Shift.
By touching a target, he can control its speed without abiding by the laws of inertia.
Yeah, so I
He can
think Gear
slow
Shift
down
kind
foes
of
to
gives
leave them
Deku the
frozen
speed
in the air,
advantage
or
for
move so fast
probably
he
the
can
sounds of
punch
it.
multiple times in an instant.
Even All for One's own protege Shigaraki couldn't track him. And this is a dude who can catch light speed laser beams.
It does
That
have a time
too.
limit though. After 5 minutes of continuous use, Deku's body will catch up to his speed, suffocating him as his cells become unable to take in oxygen.
Not nearly
Ouch.
as bad as One for All was suffocating him,
Can
though.
hit you
He's been doing
really
all of this shit in
hard.
just the 10th
Nice
grade.
callback.
Hadn't even figured out you can breathe through your nose at that point.
The pressure of having to save his friends, the country, the entire world weighed on Deku. Left UA to fight this war alone.
But alone was never where Deku fought best. Having come from nothing, his admiration for his peers gave him strength, just as they admired his strength and desire to help others. Even
True.
Bakugo came around to him.
So when it came time to finally put that demon lord back in hell, his classmates, teachers, mom, friends, enemy, and everyone else supported and cheered him on. Because that was the greatest threat to All for One's reign all along.
Not All Might.
Makes
not
sense.
Deku, not even One for All itself.
But the power of friendship, it's like
People helping each
it's
other
like
out.
Persona's
And with their
RPG
help, Deku defeated
reasoning.
All for
Ah.
One once and for all, blowing a hole in this huge storm and parting the skies for a brighter future.
Though he did lose his quirk and have to retire from hero work, getting a
Youch.
regular 9 to 5 as a teacher, passing on his knowledge to the next generation, just like every user of One for All before him.
Some might
Makes
say
sense.
he peaked in high school. If not for the sick new armor he eventually got to go back to kicking butt, he even made it all the way back near the top of the rankings.
All with the help
Nice.
of his friends. For so long as we keep reaching out our hands to help those in need, everyone can be a hero.
True. Alrighty.
Hello, it's me, store-bought Benjamin. I know what you're asking. Benjamin, what are you wearing?
Dummy thick.
The
Yes,
fuck?
that's our mechanical menace Mecha Goose pulling down the trunks of poor Dummy. Our new summer line of merch is available now
Who
on
comes up with
deathbattle.gg
these?
for a limited time. Website members can even get this in a unique color scheme. And there's a hat. I like the hat. I know
Yay,
what else you're
hats.
asking. Benjamin, why did Wiz build robot butt cheeks on Dummy?
I don't
I
know.
don't know. Get your cheeks at www.deathbattle.gg.
All right.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Let's go. Pause real quick. So Miles is fucked. No polite way of putting it. Miles has basically nothing over Deku at this rate. Though, I guess maybe training is a lot better than Deku's. Because, like, not that All Might's wasn't good. But when you train alongside someone like Peter Parker, who's done this for so long and has gone through so much, especially with the Spider-Verse stuff, I think the only thing Miles has over Deku is training, and that's really it. Which sucks, because Miles is dope, but I can't think of anything else that Miles has an advantage over. I guess the Vibranium suit might be durable enough to survive Deku's punches, but they even said it's not as strong as Cap's shield, so I think Deku could probably overwhelm the Vibranium suit. So I still think Deku has this. If I'm wrong, then it's the biggest upset in Death Battle, according to like all the podcasters I know pick Deku. The G1 block all pick Deku. So if Miles pulls us out, it's going to be insane. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Ah, I see. We're going the comic book style, kind of like a Black Adam Apocalypse. That's dope. Is that Venom?
Yo! You're more man and less spider than usual.
Huh.
Oh, I was looking for you. Care to show me what you can do?
Alright, new guy. First lesson?
I like how Miles.
Watch the mouth. Watch the hands.
Now watch mine, Delaware!
Okay, so it's got like all my Mike I kind of like training vibes of sorts. Oh, like what I would want in Nora Reinhardt as far as their
Try that
attitude.
one more time.
Also, the voice acting is really good.
Guess who?
Oh, that's a callback to Spider-Man vs. Batman. That's dope.
Can't use my full power here. Gotta take this somewhere else. Oh, gross!
You got skills, man. I like that.
Nice.
Oh, mierda.
A little bit of Espanol in there by I think his name Christian Marquet. That's dope. Really old New York City.
I moved us to an abandoned part of the city so we can go all out! Because I always do my best!
Nice. Wee. Nice camera angle, dude. Like, this is so visually good. Yow. Soundtrack's pretty nice.
I'm gonna do my best. I gotta do my own thing.
Nice. Wonder. That felt weird with the slowdown, but I think it's because like.
Right! Your quirk is amazing!
Amazing is my buddy. They call me the ultimate Spider-Man.
That's a nice reference, though.
Shock absorption, not nullification. So, it's got a limit.
Yeah, Deku can adapt pretty well to this. Ow! Wow.
Go beyond!
Ooh. That's a lot of punches. Ow. Accidental murder.
Spider-Man, you really are the ultimate.
Damn, dude.
Vaya con Dios, Aranya Hoven.
Let's start by talking
I don't know
about
what
their
that meant.
superpowers, which matched up quite evenly. Unsurprisingly, given the not-so-subtle inspiration for Deku's quirks, though they did have some edges over the other.
The
Yeah.
Spider Sense gave Miles more insight on his surroundings and threats than Danger Sense, which has been worked around before.
This meant
Yeah.
Miles' invisibility was harder for Danger Sense to detect when he wasn't attacking, while the Spider Sense's radar system allowed him to find Deku in a smokescreen.
Okay.
But Izuku's other quirks granted him advantages of his own.
Float was a lot more mobile than Webs, and Fajin gave a bigger boost in strength than Venom did. Since both
Makes
had
sense.
some advantages and disadvantages, we're gonna call superpowers a tie.
Next up, speed. Scaling
Yeah.
to Peter, Miles could dodge light speed attacks, which actually outpaced Izuku moving faster than that sniper bullet. Fortunately for Deku, though, that wasn't his best.
Thanks to Gear
True.
Shift, Deku could speed himself up to match Miles the same way he did to the light-catching Shigaraki. Even worse for Spidey, one touch from Gear Shift could freeze him in place and make dodging totally impossible.
Yeah.
Speed goes to Deku.
As for skill, Deku was incredibly talented.
I think
at
Deku's
analyzing
more,
an
like,
opponent's
adaptable
abilities and coming up
than
with
Miles.
strategies on the fly.
But Miles' powers and fighting style gave Deku few immediate openings.
Deku may have received more formal training at UA, but he was ultimately only active in hero work for a little under a year.
Meanwhile,
Right.
Miles has been handling everything from neighborhood crooks to multiverse-ending gods for significantly
Yeah.
longer.
It's
It
close,
makes
but with
sense
his
for
greater
Miles to take
experience,
skill, I
skill
think.
goes to Miles, and that means the biggest deciding factor is raw strength.
Which is no contest.
No contest. Miles absorbing the energy of that bomb was nothing to scoff at, but overwhelming power is what One for All is all about.
When Deku defeated All for One, the energy needed to part those clouds with this punch had a yield of 362 billion tons of TNT.
Yeah, that-
smashing the bomb Miles absorbed out of the water.
But it
That's
wasn't
fair.
as simple as that. Miles is wearing a vibranium suit after all. So the question wasn't necessarily who was stronger, it was if Miles' suit was tough enough to continuously absorb Deku's blows.
When the Falcon protected New York from that city-destroying blast, it had a yield of 546 megatons. Impressive, but Deku
But not-
defeating All
yeah,
for
no,
One was still
not
over
enough, yeah.
600 times stronger than vibranium's limit.
And Deku did that with One for All's embers, not the full package.
And remember,
Right.
the vibranium in Miles' suit was much thinner than what Falcon and Black Panther had, making
Okay.
it unlikely it could absorb as strong of a blast.
It's there to provide more protection, sure, but there was no way it could survive all of what Deku
Poor
did.
Miles, man. He can't catch a break on this
It
show.
was Izuku's overwhelming speed and immense strength that made him the winning hero.
And the morales of the story is...
The winner is Deku.
Next
Congrats,
time
Deku.
on Death Battle.
You gotta win, buddy. Oh, Hulk Godzilla, eh? We're finally getting this, and we're finally getting Devil Artemis back on the show. That's dope. That's pretty dope. Let's talk about this. Miles versus Deku. I will admit, I love the writing of the fight, and I love the banner and voice acting that these folks had. I think that Moro really went above, and he went beyond and gave this animation a plus ultra, I guess. What I'm trying to say is Moro did really good with this animation, man. I tried to work some My Hero stuff, and it was really good, really, really good. And I hope, and Z-Dog, I genuinely do hope you are happy with how this turned out, not just from the animation, but the episode as a whole. I just wanted to say that before I move on to the next time of Hulk vs. Godzilla. This is one I've heard people talk about. The size comparison thing might be an issue, but I think that Battle can handle it, given Frieza vs. Megatron was pretty cool, despite the size gap. I think Devil Artemis and the team are going to do very well with this. Will Hulk finally get a win? That's the million-dollar question we need to ask ourselves. Or will Godzilla go undefeated? But hey, that's just what I think. What are your thoughts about Miles versus Deku? Are you excited for Hulk versus Godzilla? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, because I love reading your comments. Feel free to join the Lads Discord server as we're talking about this episode right now as I'm recording, as well as give predictions for Hulk versus Godzilla. With that being said, I will see you all later.